Welcome everyone to Loud and Proud Orlando. It's Monday, October 17th, 8:46 p.m. Thank you so much for being live right now with us. About 11 people. I already sent the link on Facebook, Dave. So you may want to, yeah. Um, I wanted to go ahead and first and foremost, before we start, thank you to every single person that's watching us, listening to us. Um, for the support that we've gotten this year. Obviously, we started this adventure early in the season. Um, you know, we wanted to be an outlet that will differentiate from the rest. And we had it ups and downs, but nonetheless, it's been a fantastic, season. And we ain't stopping. I do want to say it now. We ain't stopping. We are continuing this. We're making it even better next season. We're bringing people in also that's going to help us grow even more to bring you the best content possible, as well as we're covering the World Cup coming up. The U.S. men's national team is going to be playing a bunch of games. Kind of important, right? England, 1776, the Ayatollah Khomeini, Iran, Wales, fish and chips, right? So, the Stars and Stripes are going to be facing tough opponents. We're going to see what this league has to offer um, for the future because 2026 is upon us too. In 2026, the U.S. is hosting a World Cup again since '94. So, how much of an improvement? We're going to see the real improvement now, tangible proof how much the MLS has bred world class players. So, before we start and read your comments and give the mic to David and Paola and talk about the unfortunate, you know, turn of events against Montreal, we'll go ahead and encourage everyone to keep signing up, keep subscribing to our channel, Loud and Proud Orlando on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Like the video, double click on the bell for all notifications so you can see it. Also, thank Orlando City Communications for all the pictures that we're going to show today in the video. Um, and as well, follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts because we're going to be also on audio form there. So, yes, he did. Yeah. So, and let's start with your comments real quick. It says Ryan Marcus. It says Wales, fake country. Well, I mean, there you go. Here we go. Joshua Tall. Also, thanks for doing this. I've always enjoyed watching this all season. Vamos Orlando. Can't wait for more of these. Yeah, we're gonna be doing also other types of content. Maybe predictions and rumors. And I do want to say, guys, rumors, predictions, who's leaving, who's staying, all that stuff is happening. It's going to be happening in the next few days, more than likely. And I want the people from Facebook from the beginning of the season that were like, butt tight, I'm going to say it, about rumors, right? And, oh, why are you talking about rumors? It's not real. It's not real, guys. You know, no, those, get ready. I can go and go to Walgreens and get you something for it because it's gonna get is we're gonna cover it and we're gonna put rumor there, but we're gonna have to cover it. It's part of what we do. We have to inform. So it's gonna start again. So just FYI, we had a great season no matter what the social media expert says Ahmed Salim. Yeah, I mean that is despicable. Today, Inter Miami, not even NYCFC that they've won the MLS last year wasn't the cover of MLS.com. I go to MajorLeagueSoccer.com and I see freaking Phil Neville. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it is true what Ursa was saying. It is a little off-putting. Joshua Tall sounds good. I'm looking for you talking about rumors and who's staying. 2-0 golazo, Brian Guerrero. Yeah, Toye. Yeah, I know. And we also have on the link, there's a link on the comments if you're on YouTube, which you could essentially join our Discord server, and then you'll be able to connect with us in real time with the latest news, rumors, etc., etc. So we have a special guest with us too. So here we go. Miguel, how are you, my friend? Good to see you.
Hey guys, how are you? Good to be here. Good meeting you guys in person yesterday at the watch party, and I'm happy to be here. Talk some city football.
I know, right? Thank you for being here. All right, David, how are you, my friend?
Well, with the legendary, the true legendary Miguel Gallardo, the pride of Torreon, right, Miguel?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
this
Ajua.
man, this good man with his gloved hands lifted trophies for our club. And I have a story, Miguel. My wife, you are her favorite all time Orlando City player. My wife can pinpoint you 50 yards in the dark. But if my life depended on it, and she had to identify Kaká from a lineup of three men, the other two being Robin Jansen and Benji Michel, I will be dead if she had to do that. But Miguel Gallardo, she sees you 50 yards out, she always points you out. Um, but before we talk with this legendary man, I'm super excited. I'm fanboying here. I just have to say thank you to all the fans at the watch party. Paola and I were there. A lot of the fans came over to say hello, and as always, we appreciate that. Oscar Perucho, you asked me for a shout out. There you
Oh
go.
yeah.
Our good friend Victor Rivera won the shirt that was signed by Cesar Araujo, gifted it away to a friend. That's some friend there.
It's your friend.
And yeah, okay, listen. And other than that, so the guys from OC Fan TV, shout out to those guys. Anyways, a lot of fans. The trophy was there. Overall, it was a great night. Unfortunately, the results did not go our way. But obviously, we're going to talk about that, and because I want to hear from Miguel. These people are tired of listening about my ramblings. So Paola, uh, fresh from her honeymoon, and
Yay!
and showed up to watch Orlando City lose two nil. So we'll see what happens there.
Well, it's a bittersweet, right? I'm glad to be back with y'all. I was in my honeymoon watching Columbus Crew game when I have a picture. Alec took me a picture of me watching in my phone the game. I was not missing that important game, and the next day I was rocking my white shirt and the Crew. So always a Orlando diehard fan. Glad to be back. I miss you all. Last Monday I had a great time. My honeymoon. Unfortunately, I have to go back to work tomorrow, but I'm glad to be here. Tomorrow's the future. I don't want to think about the future. Now it's the present. So I'm glad to be back.
Fantastic. So let's start, with your thoughts, Miguel. Yesterday, I mean, it's a bittersweet, loss against Montreal. But I believe overall, personally speaking, it was a successful season overall. I mean, Orlando won a trophy, first trophy in its inception, since being incepted in the MLS. Spending really low compared to other teams. They were able to catch a big price. That's what a lot of people are really I think, overlooking. And the best part, in my opinion, is the culture, right? That Oscar and his staff has been able to implement with the players. What were your thoughts? Especially you, pretty much being such a huge part, not only now with the pride, but also with commentary and also with the players there that they know you. How did it feel, and what do you make out of this moving forward?
Yeah. Well, it's a loaded question. We can start with the game alone if you want. And I hear you say bittersweet, but for me, it's bitter because if you had asked me before going to the game if Orlando City had a chance to win the game, if I have to bet my money on it, I would have said no. I would have said that CF Montreal is just too good of a team right now. I think man for man, in a lot of positions, they have the upper hand. This is a very expensive roster. I don't think people realize that. I mean, you look at the roster; they have Canadian national team players on this roster. They got
Wanyama.
Wanyama, Premier League player Georgi Mihailovic, who's going to be sold to Azi Akmar in the Netherlands Bundesliga. You got Kone, the kid who scored the goal, who's set to be leaving, being sold for a hefty amount. Um, have a lot of talent on this team, and I think Wilfred Nancy deserves a ton of credit because, man, I just remember 2 years ago in the bubble that one day out of the blue, Thierry Henry is not going to be there anymore, and everybody's sounding the alarms and what are they going to do? Who's going to step up? There was a project that invested some money, and then here comes this guy that nobody, I didn't know him, and within a couple of years, man, he's last year, came to the decision they bought. They were a good team. They were a very, very solid team, and they had a very clear identity and idea of how to play. And I could probably one of the teams that I could tell you what they're gonna do more than many as an analyst. I can tell you their patterns. I can tell who's gonna get the ball. I can tell what they're gonna do. But they have they have a way that they have smart players that they can execute it because you can't stop everything. You can't stop everything if you do it properly. And so I felt like in the moment they were in, the way they trashed into Miami, they hadn't lost a game in a while. Last time they lost was to Red Bull in Orlando City. Even though they beat the Columbus Crew, I felt they were not at 100%. I think not having Robin Janssen has been, um, a detriment to them. I think that some players are not playing at their peak right now, um, and the depth is not where you wanted it to be. And you have to give credit to Ricardo Moreira and the team because
Yeah.
you know the injury to Gaston Gonzalez put a big burden on the team. Right, you design a team, you spend all this money, and then he gets hurt. Right before you're gonna get him, and you think you have your front four. You're gonna rock and roll with these dudes, and then this happens, and so then you have to scramble. And so they've gone to Mulroney, they've gone to Giacchini, they've gone to Benjamin Michel, they've gone to all these guys, and I felt like if you are the other team, you're thinking, right, we gotta put a stop on the right side of Facundo Torres or wherever he is. But then the other side, there was inconsistencies there. So and then the forward spot, I think that, Edson Cara, 12 goals in 17, 18, 1800 minutes, it's a pretty good number. That being said, I think that you need more from your top strikers in my position. And I think in certain type of games, you needed a bit more of a presence and more pressure, more hard work, more hold up play and things like that. So I I say that to say that I was very, very pleasantly surprised in the game. I felt we should have won that game.
Yeah.
I felt like we had the clearest opportunities. I thought Oscar Pareja's tactical approach was brilliant. He went with a line of three in the back to match the three front players, right? Because Georgi Mihailovic and Connie in those half spaces, they get the ball a lot, and if they get the ball there, man, watch out. And obviously that's what happened. And so what he's done with that, I think he allowed those center backs to be able to press high when those guys receive the ball in those half spaces, and and keep them from playing their game. But and they did a really nice job in the first half. I mean, I don't remember mentioning Georgi Mihailovic's name many times or Connor's name many times. It was Orlando City who made it very difficult for them. And then, they had the opportunity with Cara. That's a chance he needs to bury, right? And then you have Angulo gets another chance, and that's a chance that maybe being a little bit too picky, but can you at least test the goalkeeper? Not that that would have turned into a goal, but then you get Antonio Carlos at the end, right? That's a clear chance for me. And then they got one chance, and that's all it took for them to put Orlando City away. And then towards the end, obviously, that's you know a little mental mistake and lack of concentration from Orlando City. But I don't think that they were in the game at that moment anymore, and so it didn't matter. So for me, that's why I say it's a little bit bitter because you know it would have been bittersweet for me if I knew right. The team went out there, they gave it a right good go. It was really hard, but see Montreal was just too much. I don't think that was the case. I think Orlando City was the better team for moments of the game, and I think that they had the chances and just couldn't put them away. That being said, I do agree with you that with the injuries, with the mental stress from playing two tournaments back to back, playing do or die games from a U.S. Open Cup, it takes a toll on the guys, and I think that's why they lost some of the results during the MLS season, because they're still kind of on that hangover phase of winning the U.S. Open Cup, which is massive when you think about. I say this, I say this, and I'll say it again. Is that you want to be a top level club, you got to put some trophies in your trophy case, and Orlando didn't have that in Major League Soccer. So for them to achieve that and then make it to the playoffs, from the outside looking in, I think it's a successful season. But I know that this coaching staff and the players and the technical staff, it's not good enough. And I think that you want to raise the standard to the next level, right? I said this in the broadcast, on my last broadcast last year at the end of the season. I said, right, okay, we lost to Nashville FC. Was it a good season? You could say. But good season in relation to what? And the mentality has to change. You got to think big. You got to compare yourself to the Seattle Sounders of the world minus this season. You got to compare yourself to to those teams that are always up there and constantly winning championships. And I think that's where the mindset needs to be and the standard needs to get to. Of course, you need an investment because you look at these teams that win, they're expensive, right? And so yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it is a successful season given some of the injuries that they had, but everybody has injuries, and you have to find a way to deal with it. But as I said, overall, pleased with the season, but I always stay hungry for more, and I think that's the mentality of the team. I think they're going to come back next year, make some good moves, and be strategic as to how they manage certain players' contracts to be able to come back next year and be a top contender.
Let's read some comments and then I'll go with Dave. Joshua Tall says Kara should have made it, but we did have many chances. It says Ahmed Selim, how you doing, my friend? It says we did an okay job. We can't miss 4 opportunities like that against the second place team and expect to win. I didn't feel the same urgency as the Open Cup final. Etromic, this is AC's chance was so nice, beautifully chested. The ball down into play in the box. I don't know how he didn't put it on the target.
All good
it's
points. All good points. All good points. Exactly what I was just saying. And by the way, Antonio Carlos' chance is a difficult one because the ball bounce was that high. So listen, it was gonna take a special strike. But I think that he's got it in the locker. I do think that. And then you're right. Kyle probably should have put that one away. And this game is about moments. And those moments against top level competition, you gotta hit, you gotta strike, and you gotta get it right. And that was the difference, I think.
So with that, Dave, a lot of people are saying, I think they're jumping the gun on the team sometimes. I don't know, what are your thoughts first and foremost regarding the performance of Orlando City against Montreal for starts? But do you feel like people are just jumping the gun right now with like saying things online like they maybe should not be saying, like lightly, like get rid of everyone, like oh my god, chaos, mayhem,
Absolutely. No,
you know.
and just to put things into perspective, our good friend Eddie Cruz from Orlando Lions Den podcast found the tweet when the club fired James O'Connor and the reactions underneath from people that right now are defending Oscar Pareja with a sword and a shield. Back then we're like, oh my god, what are you doing? You're firing this guy, you're destroying the fan base. I mean, it's funny how right now there's a lot of people that listen, losing sucks. I left the place brokenhearted, but that's part of football. If you have never had a goal scored on you at the death, or you never had an unjustified penalty go against you, have you ever football, my friends? Have you ever football at all? I think, Miguel couldn't say it better, obviously, somebody of his stature. I mean, what can I say to that? But I think we were in it until that defensive mistake happened. I was watching the game, standing next to Paola and her husband, uh, their friend Jose, and a couple other people. And my reaction to that was I felt that uh, Antonio Carlos sort of tried to overcompensate because his usual partner was not there. And I said, either you trust your partner or you don't, because by trying to double team whoever had the ball at the time, he leaves a man open and he punishes us with that goal. I felt that Orlando City had chances to come back after that, but we completely threw them away with the penalty, which was just frustration at the very end. Things did not go our way. But and obviously Montreal had a bone to pick with us. We sent them packing last year. We prevented them from making the playoffs. So what better chance for revenge than this one? But just like Miguel has said, this is a team that has been building smartly. They have definitely a lot of people will hate me for saying this, but they have the best team in CONCACAF, Canada. They have their national team players from Canada in their club. And on top of that, they have a resilient fan base. We talk about, oh, we missed the playoffs for 5 years. It's my understanding the last time they made playoffs was 2015. So, and the reason why we see them in CCO all the time is because they win the Canadian Cup, which at this point, they basically Vancouver and Toronto and Montreal just take turns winning the darn thing. So, I'm devastated at the result, and I understand why people want to burn Earth. Right now, there's a civil war between the Papi out, Papi in people. All I have said it in this show because I'm crystal clear with people. And I had the opportunity to talk to Oscar Pareja at the game against Columbus, and also since I see, let me see, where is he at? The comments disappear. Mohammed Salim, I think Ahmed Salim, he was there with me with the group of people that decided to go and bid farewell to the players last Friday. Um, well, he was complimentary and he was nice, and I think Oscar Pareja is a super nice guy. We already said this before. You talk to the guy, if you feel like he's the uncle that you never had, the uncle that manages an MLS team. He makes you feel warm and fuzzy, and he's just super nice. But football is industry of results, and I have said, and I say it again, that if we have hit a plateau and this is the best we can do, then honestly we need to look at our staff and say who's gonna take us to the pyramid, the top of the pyramid. And I finish with this so Paola can say her comments. I have said it here. My two teams overseas, Maccabi Haifa, Stevenage, made manager changes. Maccabi Haifa just defeated Juventus a week ago in the European champions, and Stevenage is on top of League Two, about to get promoted, God willing, if the results keep going, after years and years and years in the fourth division of English football. People said, hey, this manager changes are detrimental. This guy, we love him. He's nice. He's this, he's that. But now the same people that were complaining about the manager change are saying nothing. They're celebrating like everybody else.
And Paola, how do you make out of this game? Personally, I think out of if you give me the starting, number of the Orlando City players, I think they had a solid game. The back line was solid in my opinion. I don't know why Sofa score rates like 6.8 to Antonio Carlos. I don't know. I honestly don't know how they get the ratings, but solid game from the defense. But unfortunately, if you don't score those chances, and I think it's been a problem with the finishing too, right? That finishing touch. Orlando has like averages between 200 to 300 passes a game, and then there's not a lot of finishing. Do you feel like that's been something that has been happening lately with the team, that maybe that's something we need to get better to jump, that quality, to a quality team, probably for next season?
Absolutely. And in my opinion, we have troubles in the front. and it's not news. Like last year we had it, this year we're having it, and Miguel just said it. Like the reason that Gaston is not here hurt the entire team, because I was looking forward for those two wingers, Facu in the right and Gaston in the left, and Cara there. But unfortunately, Ricardo Moreira had to pull his magician and skills and try to get us good players in the middle of the season. And the beauty of the playoff yesterday and right now with when Miami and NYCSC is a different type of game. And you can feel it. Like you can feel the pressure and the entire team. And for one error is a goal, and the error was on us. The first error was on our team, because David said it. Antonio Carlos was double defending the other guy. I don't remember who was, Camara, I think, and then Cone came in and scored that goal. After that, the team declined. Everything declined. Like the intensity. Junior Urso was not there. Pereira was like, "What is happening? Is this my last game or what? I don't know what's going on." So I believe, like you said, Luis, for next season, the front is gonna be looking differently. I don't know, because we have been struggling for the past couple of games on the front end.
No, Miguel. When it comes to, what are some things you believe, we need to definitely immediately for next season, maybe try to improve position wise? I think, obviously having Robin back, having Gaston Gonzalez back, I think that's going to be huge. Aside of that, do you think we maybe need to play with two nines, maybe one a pivot like Cara, and maybe have another one like maybe a 4-4-2, in that case, because with one solid striker, it's been not a lot of chances created for the nine. I don't know. What are your thoughts regarding that?
Yeah, look, I don't pretend to tell you what the answer is in terms of the formation, right? I think that would be, I personally would be disrespectful to Oscar Pareja, and
Hmm.
there's reasons. I always, because I am a coach myself, there was a reason, and do I think, could they change the system? And I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can do it and pinpoint, why you're not scoring goals. You mentioned something about a lot of possession, a lot of touches, but a lot of those touches or possessions did not turn into goals. It wasn't because of the final touch. It was because the final pass or the actual creation of the goal, not necessarily the chance. They went through a moment where they were going to work the final third, but not necessarily creating a chance for the striker. Now, could the striker do more? Sure, but that's all part of the system, and are there things that they can tweak? Absolutely. What would I change? What are there things? I think there's a lot of questions that they're gonna have to figure out. And what's the situation like? He was obviously a top level player and has a good amount of assists. But when you look at top level teams in the leagues, you tend to score goals, and so can he now, credit to him and his defense,
Yeah.
oftentimes was playing deeper, right? So you were taking that protagonism away from him. And he did a damn good job of playing as a six sometimes and as an eight most of the time, because Facundo Torres would end up being your 10
Exactly.
at times. So there's a lot of players that there's a lot of situations that I'm sure could improve. You always improve. You can always improve. I don't know where, and then obviously it has to do with budget situations. It has to do with players' contracts. In a hypothetical, if I knew, hey, every player can be disposable and every player's contract,
Right.
it doesn't matter. There's no money that we need to consider, or no budget cap or anything. That would be a fun exercise. But I'm not sure that would bring any value to the conversation. I do think that there are players that, that Alonso can definitely improve. a different group, and you get more production out of Juan on the right hand side, right? Because
Yeah.
Juan gets, he's got that speed and everything. But you look at top level teams, and you get a nice number of assists from your fullbacks. And the system from Mosca Pareja relies a lot on Juan getting high of the pitch, and when he doesn't, the team doesn't generate as much. And so, I think they're players that could step up their level a little bit to make the team better. But you know, I it's only in human nature to want to throw everything in the trash and then turn the base. But
Right,
at
right.
the end, Lao City scores that goal, Cara scores that goal, and a couple of those things change, and we're singing a different song today. We're going into the next phase. So this game is about moments, and I think that Orlando City, had a really good game, and it was just those lapses, right? Those lapses. You can go out and spend $10 million on players, never a guarantee. Look at Atlanta United, right? How much money have they spent? And
Yeah,
not
I
hitting
mean,
players.
and
Look at Toronto. How much money have they spent?
yeah, look,
And not
I want to
hitting
show,
players.
I want to put this graph right here. So, I mean, look at Toronto, 32.2 million they've spent in 2022, and they didn't even make
That's
the
a middle.
playoffs.
That's a mid-tier Premier League team, I think, or
Yeah.
something like that. I
And
mean,
then
ridiculous.
look, Orlando, it's right up, right below Montreal,
Right.
right? At 12, whopping 12 million, right?
Yeah.
And and
And
I mean,
Montreal has 13 because Wanyama makes a ton of that.
yeah,
Wanyama is
when yeah,
13.
yeah, exactly. And I
He's
mean,
one of the highest
we
players. He's one of the highest players in the league.
yeah, the highest spender, it's been Toronto, then it's LA Galaxy, yeah, 27.3 million. Inter Miami, and look, they just got clobbered by NYCFC just now, 3-0. They're out.
By goleada, people, goleada.
No.
Those guys that were talking trash a minute ago, don't worry. Once the show's over, I'll take care of you.
No.
Yeah. No,
And
but I
then
think
and
I think those things are important to mention. With
yeah,
let's look at this team. If you really want to do this exercise, so I want to see no playoffs. Uh, do me a favor. Go to the teams below Orlando City and money wise.
okay. Look, the lowest
Charlotte
spending team
out
in
of
the
the
league. Yeah, Charlotte
out
11.7
of
million.
out. No playoffs. Portland, did they
No
make it to the playoffs?
playoff.
No playoffs.
11.4, no playoffs. Minnesota.
Minnesota United playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, they made it. San
San
Jose, no
Jose,
playoffs.
no
Colorado,
playoff.
no playoffs. Philadelphia, well,
Yeah,
they're a factory of developing players, which I think that's what
exactly.
Orlando City wants to be, right? That's
That's
what Orlando City
that's
wants
the
to be. They
model.
want to
That's the future. Yeah.
I don't think it's quite Philadelphia Union. I don't think that that's the model. I think the model is a combination of
Of two.
developing players and bringing, high, big name, not big
Right.
name is the right word, but exciting players right off the
Right.
bat. I don't think
Right.
I certainly.
Exactly.
Listen. I love young players, and but as a
Like
fan,
Neymar, for example.
I want to I
Neymar.
want to see some I want to see some stars, right? I want to see some
Right.
stars, and I think that's where I listen. I don't know. I've never heard the coach say this is what we want to be. I don't think that they want to be in Philadelphia Union, but I could be wrong. Right now, so Oscar Pareja comes from FC Dallas. That's a factory of players as well, so it could be the model. But obviously Philadelphia Union. Remember, they went through 4 or 5 years of drought. I mean, no playoffs. I mean, just
Yeah.
nothing. And then slowly but surely started paying off. So listen, I think for what Orlando City is spending, and by the way, I wonder if that salary, if those salaries. Never mind. I think they did a really good job. I did a really good job. And look, I think if you're an Orlando City supporter, you're excited because one of the things that the Will family said is they want to come in and want to spend.
Exactly. They
You
want
got
to
to do it
win.
smartly, right? You got to do it smartly, and they gave us a taste. They gave us Facundo Torres, and they spent reportedly about 7 million, and what a player he's turned out to be, and
Yeah.
it's incredible how well he adjusted, and I think he should be in the conversation of newcomer of the year, just
Yeah,
because
for sure.
he's young, his contributions, he's still, as I said, 22 years old, and how much he improved during such a short period of time. I'm excited to see him next year, and allow City to surround them with players that are going to make them even better.
Yeah, and then and Diego Alonso needs to get him into the national team, man. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, Diego
Listen,
Alonso.
I
I know, I
yeah,
know, I know.
right. Maybe he hates MLS. I think he hates MLS
Yeah,
too.
that's what I'm saying. I think how can you tell me Ocampo is better than Facundo Torres? Come on, my friend. That's
Yeah,
just my opinion. But Dave,
yeah,
I mean, look, 12 million Orlando has spent. I mean, and you've talked about the Wolves before. They want to win. And they got Facundo Torres. You know, I mean, what to you, Dave? What should be the first few, maybe big noise, movements that they should make for the next season? You think?
Well, not to blow our horn, but everybody knows that back in October of last year, we were saying that Gaston Gonzalez was coming, Facundo Torres was coming. Why? Because we were tapping into the vein. The people that didn't believe us, we nailed it. And I have to say that actually, as a matter of fact, I can say this. I was talking to Jorge Torres, Facundo Torres' dad, and he was telling me how happy they were with the season in the sense that they came here when everybody was telling them in Uruguay that this was a mistake. He won a championship. Facundo Torres right now is the 10th in the 10th place overall for goal scorers. So in one season, and the kid has a lot of talent, and God bless him. I don't think he's going to be in Orlando City for much longer. Um, but I have to say that right now, in my opinion, we have a lot of players that their contract expires in December. I to quote the great Tom Traxler, players come and go, the supporter remains. So we just have to say goodbye. I know a lot of you guys love to follow them on social media and have an attachment, but again, you either can like to quote our friend Eddie Cruz, you can either choose to win games or you can choose to take pictures with them at Publix. I mean, you can't have both. I want to win, and I think the Will family, Mark Wilf has made it very clear that he wants to win, that he wants to spend the money. And if you don't believe that he's not willing to spend the money, then you should see a signing like Facundo Torres doesn't happen 3, 4, 5 years ago. If you would have told me in 2011, as I was seeing the legendary Miguel Gallardo lift a trophy, that one day we were going to be paying $12 million for a player out of Uruguay,
I
I
mean,
would have told you insane. I'm like, you mean that these guys are not the future? That we're actually gonna pay for somebody that is worth more than the whole team put together? But we didn't. And Facundo Torres, impressive.
right,
Paul already mentioned the situation with Gaston Gonzalez. It was unfortunate, you know. We had Nachito Sanchez, the beat writer for that covers Unión de Santa Fe. We had him here, who was our source during the whole saga. Orlando City did right by the player, and kudos to that. Our
right.
club source basically said that the Orlando City could have walked away, but they chose to stay solid for the player. Our scouting network has been active. I'm not gonna tell you guys how I know, but I'm telling you right now, they have been active. So what we have to do is we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and say the badge is bigger than the name on the back of the jersey. So come December, there's going to be some tough decisions that have to be made, and we want to wish those
Look,
guys well. I mean, Junior Urso just reached his 100th appearance.
congrats.
Congratulations, my friend.
Yeah, I mean,
Mauricio
he's an
Pereira
amazing
is
person.
two away from the 100, and those guys have had died for this club on that pitch, and I appreciate that. But if their time has come, their time has come. That players understand that being in a club for life is an impossibility. Not everybody
Right.
can be Messi. And to conclude, we just have to go and get the players that are gonna get us the win, that are gonna get us over the hump. Our competition, my friends, is not taking days off. Miami already tasted what it feels like to beat the rival in the state, and next year they're gonna come, and with older cannons looking at us. Atlanta, same thing. They already had some bad years. They're gonna get their momentum back. In New York City tonight, just to mention that, yes, they play in an embarrassing baseball field, but they have the machinery behind them of the City Group. They have billions of dollars behind them, and to be quite honest with you, I think they're going to be a powerhouse in the league, regardless of where they play. If they play, the Tri-State Wanderers, I call them. If they
Okay.
play at Red Bull Arena or City Field or Yankee Stadium, they're still going to win games, and they're probably going to crown themselves champions again. We have to compete against that caliber of player, and not to disrespect our USL era, but the fact is that we have to put ourselves in our thick heads that the Rowdies, the Charlotte Battery, all those guys that we used to bust around, that's a thing of the past. The guys that we're playing against today are teams owned by billionaires that want to take our head off. And we have to look at ourselves and say, we want to be like that. We want to go and boss around and win games. So we have to do it. Takes money, takes talent, takes management.
Right. And, to me personally, just to kind of, end the whole signing situation, because, we cannot say, I mean, we cannot predict the future, right? All I know is what Miguel said too, right? The Will family came in and they made a promise. They said they want to make this a championship contender, U.S. Open Cup champions. There you go, Facundo Torres. So I think, if you look at other clubs from abroad, things don't happen in the snap of your fingers. It takes a process, right? And I think the foundation is there for the club to grow. Now, what I would love to see, if you ask me, is for them to announce, Oscar to stay, and for Pedro to stay. I mean, that would definitely be a 1-2 punch. I mean, in my opinion, it will be the start of, you know, boom, here we go again. Because just like you said, Dave, a lot of the teams, this is a competitive sport. Teams are gonna get better. I mean, even if it's the same roster, look at Orlando City when in 2020. It was a lot of the same, players that we have currently now as well. Junior, you got a Pedro, you got, Jensen, obviously, you know, but we had a team. Oscar came in, implemented his system, and look at us now. 3 playoffs, right, in 3 years. U.S. Open Cup. So I think we're getting somewhere. It's not like we're regressing. I don't feel that there's any regression. I think there's a little bit of progression. Yes, there's opportunity to get better every year, but I think we're moving forward towards something bigger, and I think we need to be hopeful on that. Now, I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Miguel, or how do you feel regarding that?
Yeah. No, 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 listen, I agree 100% that there are other teams are playing too. They want the same things that Orlando City wants, and they have the projects too, and they have good coaches too. Winning is very difficult, guys, and I don't think people understand that. Winning is hard. There's only one winner, and it, it it takes a lot. It's not just investment, but the right players, the right formula, the right players with the right chemistry. Winning is hard, and I do agree that there are other teams that are gonna every year. They got money, and money is not everything, but money helps you, and you didn't have that in the past with Orlando City. Now, and I'm not putting the wheels on the spot or under pressure, but I think for them to spend the money on Facundo Torres goes to show you that they're serious. And I think you needed that sort of financial backing to then think about what's the next level look like for Orlando City. And I think that I think they're in the right path. They have a good academy that's winning titles, right? That's a good thing because you can't just rely on designated players. And the league is not changing right now. There's a little few tweaks here and there, but you can't rely on just designated players. You got to build players around those players to build a competitive team. And I think there's a good foundation, solid players. And as you say, three to make it 3 years consecutively into the playoffs. I think there's only 16 that have been able to do that in the past 3 years. So I think the process is in the right way, but we got to taste the winning, and it felt pretty damn good. So when you do that, when you win, you only raise the standards because now you expect that, and nothing below that is good enough for the fans, and there's a high expectation. So I think there's a solid foundation. Obviously there's a good coach in Oscar Pareja, and there's a group that is committed to bringing the necessary resources to take Orlando to the next level.
For
And now
sure.
with that Apple TV money, hopefully,
No, for sure.
hopefully they can use that towards that regard as well. So
Yeah,
everybody wants
and
to win.
yeah, everyone wants to win. It's a new season. Paola, Dave did a poll, I guess, in his Twitter. It says Oscar Pareja in or out, and 74% said in. I mean, I think it's overwhelmingly. I mean, what are your thoughts, right? I mean, just to say, in or out, it seems so easy to say, but I mean, if you truly look at the stats, I mean, if you're a statistical guru, he has the stats to back him up, right? What do you make out of this, and I mean, what do you take for the future coming up for Orlando City for the next season?
I was the one who voted in. I don't want to see him go. I think that we have talk. Oh,
The same here.
what's gonna happen? Who's gonna take us to the next level? He already take us to the next level. For being honest, his resume has a lot of checkpoints, checklists with Orlando City. I feel that just here and there movement in the roster will take us to the next level. Um, but I'm one of the ones who voted in. So I feel if we already talked about it a couple episode back, I don't remember when, but if we had another like a Nani type of player in the pitch, it will be solid roster. And I'm curious what's gonna happen into our roster right now. We're not gonna see the same people who played last night, unfortunately. I love those guys, but we have said it before. If we win championship, the roster needs movement. So um I say Papi in.
No, no, yeah, for sure. We feel the same way. I think it's going to be, you know, a brand new season. We're gonna have players coming back from injury. Robin. We have Aston Gonzalez. I think the team's gonna get exciting, and we're gonna see what this front office can do. I have full faith that they're gonna definitely deliver. And to the fans, just keep supporting. I mean, how beautiful it was to see that crowd at the against Sacramento for the U.S. Open Cup final. That sold out crowd. I mean, it was incredible. I don't know if Miguel, if you, I mean, you've seen a pack house when you played probably USL. I remember all those cups and stuff. But I mean, just seeing that stadium, against Sacramento, and that night was so special for everyone, even for the people that work in communications. I know we see each other at the at catering sometimes here and there. How we need to have more nights like that, right? I think with the crowds being out there.
Yeah, and you got to think about how do we get those guys back because they're out there, right? Because there was a moment last year and the year before. There's been a big drought now. COVID, of course, I think had something to do with it, and so you got to. I think to see the stadium as the way it was against Sacramento, it just reminded you the fans are out there. They're there, and but why did they come? Because they were behind a winning team. So I think that part has to get more regular. I would argue that a lot of the fans that go to the stadium are not listening to the podcast and they have no idea what place Orlando City is on a regular basis. They go because of the experience and they want to get behind a winning team. But Orlando City's home record was poor this season. So imagine, you guys bring two of your friends for the first time to the game and they go out there and they get pumped by DC United. Those guys are not coming back. Or they're not going to be like, yeah, that'd be good. That's awesome. I had a great time. I want to go back because we don't want to see them lose again. So I think that is important. And for the casual fan, that comes to explore a stadium, and once they leave the stadium, have no idea who the players are or what the next game is or whatever. It's just the experience, which we're very much in a town that is about the experience, right? It's about tourism and what's the next thing. What can I go do this weekend rather than being diehard like we are? How can we get those guys through the door? And that's by winning. And I think that you know that's a job that the front office has, is to be more consistent, a winning team at home, to get those fans back because they're out there. We've just seen that they're out there, and then it made me really happy to see the stadium rocking like that because the stadium is designed to be loud. And even with 13, 14, 15,000 people in the stadium on a regular basis, I mean, the atmosphere was incredible. I have to tell you, every time I go down to the field to the tunnel because I have to do an interview or something post
Yeah.
game, to be in that corner when the game is going on, man, that shit is incredible. If the intensity is next level, so I can't imagine just being in the stands, in the lower bowl, even in the higher areas in the top bowl. I mean, it feels awesome. I was there for the U.S. men's national team game,
Yep.
and oh my goodness, I mean, the energy was
Yeah, it was
palpable.
unbelievable.
It was
Yeah.
just unbelievable. So obviously that particular game, I don't think that you can take that game and say, oh, well, look, you can pack the stadium. We can. A lot of guys travel right to watch the U.S. men's national team play, but the U.S. Open Cup game, they're all local. They're all local, and so the fans are out there. And I think that comes with winning. That's just the reality. You want to. I don't know any team that sucks that packs the stadium. Uh, so I think that that part of it is gonna help in terms of what type of team can honestly be next season.
Definitely, and first and foremost, we wanna thank you for being here at the show today. I appreciate you coming. Thank you so much for everything you've done with the club and what you're currently doing with the club. It's definitely something incredible. For me, for example, I'm a journalist. We see each other. Very professional. Obviously, and but I also been to USL games. Back in the day, and I remember seeing you. With your jersey and representing Orlando,
Yeah,
and now seeing you in a different light, it's incredible and so down to earth and always very correct and nice to everyone. I mean, it only
And
says
Miguel,
it shows your character. So I wanted to show you this picture. I know that Dave wanted to
yeah,
bring
yeah,
it up.
thank you. My wife took this picture in 2011. This was at Orlando Health, Miguel. I don't know if you remember this event.
yeah, of course,
Um,
yeah, I do
so
remember it.
yeah, my friend. So I just wanted to. There's a lot of familiar faces there, and Miguel is the one third from the left. And I just want to say this, man. I've been dying to ask you this because I read it on the book Defy Expectations that our friend Simon Venice wrote, and it was when you broke your leg in Puerto Rico against the Puerto Rico Islanders. I grew up 15 minutes away from that stadium. I actually been there to watch the Puerto Rico Football Club, RIP,
Yeah,
from the NASL, a club that had two former Lions in Sidney Rivera and Giuseppe Gentile. And I actually, well, it was a big moment for me to go there and watch football with my kids where I grew up. And but I wanted to know the story, man, because I know it was crazy to get there, and then you get there and you break your leg. I just want us to I just want you to tell us the story because I read it and I like this is a movie right here on its own.
yeah. Well, you're bringing it. We're going way back. I haven't read their book yet, but I tell you my side of the story. There was a game versus the Puerto Rico Islanders. They were always a top team, by the way. They was a good team, and I remember it was a through ball, and I came out to clear the ball, and I cleared the ball, and the player just, I mean, he just came late, and he just clocked me, and I think it was like a front flip, and I was down, and my leg was I hated coming out. I didn't want to come out, I just remember my leg just throbbing and throbbing. I kept playing. I kept playing, and I remember it was just very, very, very painful. And then the halftime whistle blew, which was the injury was about 10 minutes before the end of the half. So I played about 10 minutes, like that. And then the doctor comes down to the field, our doctor from Orlando Health, and he checks my leg, and my leg is clicking. He's like, "What the hell are you doing playing right now?" I was like, "Your leg is broken. You broke your leg."
Wow.
And I'm like, "What?" And so obviously I had to come off. Now, back then, budgets were different. And if
Yeah.
that would have happened today, the player gets taken to the hospital and gets taken care of, and then, you know, it probably flies back immediately. Well, we had a game in Miami like 2 or 3 days later, and I had to stay with the team with a broken leg. Uh, you know, and then went down to Miami, and I remember going to Ocean Drive with my crutches, and because they couldn't take me to the doctor to get taken care of until we got back home, and uh, and so that was the story. Yeah, that was crazy times. But I love going to Puerto Rico. We used to stay at the Sheraton right across the street from Senor Frogs. We stayed there all the time, and I remember going down, skipping that free meal because I wanted to go get lechon around the corner
Yeah,
in a place called Latin Roots. Latin
I
Roots.
know the hotel too. Over there in
Yeah,
Isla Verde.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and at night, after the game was done, I would pretend that I was going to sleep, and then I would sneak out like at 10, 11 and go down to Latin Roots because they play salsa music, and I'd be breaking it down.
All right. And
But
last question,
listen,
because I know you have to go. The what's your future now? Obviously, we know that the contracts in MLS with all the local broadcasters has ended. Obviously, Apple Plus is coming up. Can you tell us what's going to be your association with the club from now on? A lot of people, and I gotta tell you this, Miguel, a lot of people are fearful that it's gonna be a do-over again when we went from USL to MLS, and unfortunately, you moved on with your career, and while we were still following your career, still in contact with OGs right here, we always recognize you. We always, I have seen you in the streets many times. Say hello to you, and a lot of people fear that with this being over, that we have
yeah,
grown to be used to seeing you around with the club. So we just want to know what's going to happen.
yeah, still up in the air. Honestly, I love being part of this club, and I'm having conversations with different, with different situations. Just evaluating what makes sense for me and my family. But what I can tell you that I'm very blessed to have multiple opportunities that I have to evaluate and make the right decision for where I'm at in my life. I have a 5-year-old daughter that I retired from playing so I could be with her when she was born and not travel all the time. And it turns out that my daughter wasn't really, I didn't retire really for my daughter, but I retired for my wife so that I could help her. Maybe I didn't help her a lot, but I tried. I was here at least physically, and I retired for my wife so I could help her with my daughter. And because I have step kids, and so two step kids, and so she couldn't travel and follow me, to play to other places. So I retired to be. At that moment, I thought I was retiring to be with my daughter, but it turns out it was more with my wife. Because my daughter, she doesn't know that she's too little. But now my daughter is 5. Now I have to be here for my daughter because
Yeah.
now she knows that I'm gone or not gone or where's daddy. My dad is coaching. He's traveling. He has a game. He has a lousy game to go this Saturday. Why can't he go to this birthday party? So there's a lot of things to evaluate, but the most important thing for me right now is do what makes the most sense for my daughter and my wife, of course, and my other 2 kids. And that, based on that, then the decision is going to be, around that, what's important. And then you got to find what makes the most sense in terms of, spiritually fulfillment. I need to do something that brings me purpose. And in broadcasting, continuing to broadcast is what brings me the most purpose, and that's what it's going to be. And if it isn't, then I'm very, very comfortable moving on. So I'm evaluating different things. I'm somebody that loves the field, loves to be on the field. I love coaching. Um, so there's a lot of things that are there. It's just as I said, um, still evaluating different situations. But I love the club, and I want to be around the club no matter what.
Yeah.
And I don't know what capacity just yet, but yeah. Listen, thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy that you guys are doing this because you guys are what makes this club go around, right? You guys spread the word, you guys spread the love. I can tell you that I'm very proud to be a Latino in broadcasting. I don't think that there are many broadcasters in Major League Soccer that their second language is English, and that brought me a lot of pride, because it's not an easy thing to do, and just to see the game and analyze the game, evaluate the game, but then have to say it in your second language.
Yeah.
It's something that brings me a lot of pride to represent it. Representation matters. And so if there's a Latino kid that's looking at me, we're doing the TV in English and something that they want to do, somebody that looks like me or somebody from Puerto Rico, Cuba, Mexico, whatever, it doesn't matter. That brought me a lot of pride, that I wasn't just, and I have to give Orlando City a ton of credit because it would have been very easy to be, no, Miguel's going to do the Spanish because he's Spanish and that's where he belongs. But they saw me as somebody who could contribute regardless of my skin color or my accent or where I come from. They saw me for he can talk the game and he knows the game and he does X, Y, and Z. And it doesn't matter where he looks at, where he's from. That's what he's going to do. And I have a lot of respect for them. Marcos Perez is
Yeah.
the guy that saw potential in me. And he kept giving me bigger opportunities and bigger opportunities. And as I said, I love what I did for what I'm still doing technically.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a ton. I enjoyed it a ton. As a player, I suffered a lot. Um, Anxiety is a big part of the game, and that's why I think I understand moments of the game. I understand what players may go through. Anxiety, pressure, stress is very tough. It's tough. Yes, of course. I don't think anybody would be rather doing anything else than playing professional soccer and you pay for it. But once you're in it, you realize
Yeah.
that it's hard.
It's hard.
Pressure.
Yeah.
And sometimes the more you care, the more difficult it is because things weigh on you heavily. And as a player, I struggled a lot with that. A loss, I would take it to heart. Um, when we won, unless I made a top class save, which wasn't often, I didn't truly believe that it was my win too. So I struggled with that. I didn't enjoy my football career as much as I think I should have. And as a broadcaster, I can tell you, man, I enjoyed every minute of it. I really did. I tried to put myself in a situation to, I had a friend that called me one time. We were gonna call the NYCFC playoff game last year, and he called me and he was like, "Hey, man, I just wanted to call you and tell you that." He said, "You need to stop for a moment and smell the roses." He said to me, "I never heard that in the past." And basically, what he meant is stop, take a moment because what you're doing is big time. What you're doing is very cool, and a lot of people wish they could be doing that. So even though you got a lot of things going on with coaching and pride, and with the foundation and other things that you're doing, don't just go with the flow. Stop and enjoy what you're doing because it's something amazing. And when he told me that, I try to take that to heart. And every time I broadcast it, man, I enjoy the heck out of it. I have fun. I talk shit. I make fun of Evan often, and it's one of my favorite things to do. But the most important thing that I love to do is to teach the game to those fans that are new to the game, because
Right.
we as Latinos, and it's only normal. Sometimes, generally speaking, we think we own the game, and Europeans think they own the game. Brazilians
Yeah.
think they own the game. It's not your game; it's everybody's game. And so, we're not as welcoming to people who are new to the game. It's like, don't we want to grow the game? So, it's like if you're doing something that's really cool and somebody wants to know about it, you're not gonna be negative and be like, "What the hell are you talking about? You don't really know." You're open. You're like, "Yeah, well, you want to know about what I love." And so that brought me a lot of pride when I was calling games. Is finding a balance between talking to the guys that know their shit like you guys and talking to people who are watching just because it was new to them and they wanted to understand. And so finding a balance between not talking down to people like you and also not sounding like I was too smart for somebody that was new to the game brought me a ton of joy. And I can't tell you how many times people stop me to say, "Hey, man, my dad or my son or my wife watches because they learn when they hear you when they watch you on TV." And that was like, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better than that. And obviously, to do it for the club that I love, I mean, that was, and I tell you, whatever happens tomorrow is just pure honey because I feel like I already got more than I deserve.
Well, thank you, Miguel, for being here. We're blessed to have you. So thank you so much, and thank you for everything
Thank you,
you do
Miguel.
for
Thank you for
Orlando.
everything you've done for the club.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
and
Oh, man, all right,
you
enjoy, guys.
know,
I'm gonna get my daughter down for
yeah,
sleep.
yeah. Thank
She's
you.
probably happy right now. Go, Miguel.
Like every Hispanic, say goodbye for the last 30 minutes.
Uh,
All right, guys, take care. Good
yeah.
Thank you,
morning.
Miguel.
Bye,
Take care,
Miguel.
Miguel.
There you
There
go,
you go.
people. The legendary Miguel Gallardo. The man can have his own episode because Pride, Orlando City, his time with the Jacksonville Armada, his time with the Florida Tropics, broadcasting, recruiting, coaching in town. I mean, he's a renaissance man. So
Yeah, I mean,
thank you,
and
Miguel, because I approach him because if we were waiting for Paola, that would have never happened. But I was bold and I went and I asked him. I said, Miguel, will you be on our show? And he said yes. Let's read some comments, my brother. Let's read some comments. The people are commenting there,
all
and
right,
I
all
would like
right.
to address.
Nijay Thompson says, Miguel legend. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Heath Schrammig, wow, throwback. Dubron, I was there for September 7th, my birthday, best birthday ever. Wolf Jacks, what's up, Miguel? Was a pleasure watching you this year. There you go.
Mhm.
Joshua Tall, facts. I want Oscar and Pedro to stay.
Good.
Victor Rivera, hey, don't talk about my baseball team stadium. We're better than Stanky Stadium. Think Orlando City should extend Galese first. I think they should make a bus. I think they should go, you know, and they should say, "Hey guys, we're resigning Pareja and we're resigning
Mhm.
Pedro Galese.
No, no, absolutely.
He's gonna be the best paid goalkeeper in the MLS. Whether there's gonna be some people and some people that just don't agree with him being the best paid player goalkeeper in the MLS, I think for Orlando City, if it wasn't for Pedro Galese, and let's be completely honest here, Orlando would have not been in the playoffs. I mean, we would have not been in the playoffs. Itramic, got to stack our bench somehow and hope our new signings gel with the team. I mean,
Mhm.
I agree. I think what and Miguel said it too. You gotta have depth, and I think one thing that we didn't have this year was we have a team that was plagued with injuries.
Yes.
Our depth was cut short. Even OCB, some of the players didn't adapt very well. We saw Taylor Williams having a couple of games. We even saw Hackenberg coming in.
Losing
Mose-
Campbell Guadalupe was devastating
yeah,
to me, and we'll see what
Campbell,
happened.
but that, in my opinion, that's Campbell's fault. That's Campbell's fault. But I mean, you got Hackenberg, you got Thomas Williams, fantastic center back. I mean, there's a lot of future. I just think you need in this league, especially now, we even need more depth now because we have Leagues Cup, MLS, U.S. Open. I mean, it's gonna be
and champions.
and Conca Champions, and that starts actually soon. I'm gonna.
The team should be,
February.
yeah, the team is reporting in January for obviously training and all that. Then we go on the road in February, and then guess what happens in February? Back at it with MLS, and
Ex-
in the summer we're gonna stop the league play to do leagues cup. So and before all that, we're gonna have to go and defend our Open Cup championship. Friends, we are going to if you like football, if you like Orlando City football, we're about to give it to you to the 25th power.
Yeah, and this is another thing, if you want to be part of Loud and Proud, I mean, this is your chance. You'll be able to cover a lot of cool games, not only for Orlando City or OCB, Orlando Pride. In OCB, you got Tesho in some games. You got Joey Desart in a couple games. So Wheeler Cartagena played a couple games too.
Schlegel.
Um, yeah, Schlegel, Dubron says Dubron. NYCFC scored some beautiful goals too. Miguel, if the team was a bit fatigued or had trouble managing two tournaments, how do you manage for a competition next year? I think we just
Young
answered that, right?
players. I
Depth.
think I think it's just definitely young players for next year. But
I think we need to analyze
Yeah.
markets in South America. Like to me, I mean, I know that uh, Orlando got Wilder Cartagena from the United Arab Emirates League. Garbage. I'm gonna say this,
Mhm.
and obviously coming from that type of league to MLS, But if
Big
you
jump.
get but if you get like somebody from the Argentinian league, from the Uruguayan league, it doesn't have to be Peñarol or Nacional. They just have to be a playmaker.
Lucas Cesar
Lucas
Araujo,
Araujo,
yeah,
yep.
Yeah, look,
Hmm.
right.
Montevideo Wanderers.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, like in Peru, in Peru there is an untapped market when it comes to players like that. You can go to Bolivia as well, Ecuador. Ecuador right now, I mean, their league is top three in South America, the
Hmm.
Liga
Hmm.
Pro. We need to look into that. Low cost. Because you don't want to get like Miguel was saying. You don't want to be LAFC, but you don't want to also be like,
Miami.
not spending any money. I mean,
Hmm.
it has to be a mix of the two. You want to have your young foundation, but you also want to have three recognizable name players at least that could play each other. Every good championship team has a three or a two-man tandem, right? So Kobe and Shaq, Kareem and Magic, LeBron and
We don't have that.
AD, so we have Facundo. Now we have to find, you
Right, because
know,
we used to have Lair and Kaká. Then
right.
we had Nani
DK
and
and
DK,
Nani. There you go.
right?
So now we need that. I mean, and
The
we
tandem,
need
yeah.
we need a tandem right there. And I think once we get that, I think we need to build up on it. Right? It says
Hmm.
Etromic.
Hmm.
Kara underwhelmingly led our team in goals, but you wouldn't know it unless you look at the stats. Everyone sing cheerio to the flamingos.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
Ninja.
Let's talk about that for a second. Listen, the situation with Miami is one in which and this is where I don't want us to be, and I'm taking the Orlando City hat off for a minute, and I'm talking in all seriousness. No, no stabbing at them or anything like that. They are a team that had a bunch of dinosaurs, a lot of expensive players, and the best they can say in the last 3 years is that they came to the first round of the playoffs. They got shellacked 3-0, and on top of that, their only accomplishment is defeating Orlando City at home because they keep that's all they keep talking about. I keep saying, well, until you feel the weight of that open cup on of the weight of a trophy, then you can talk about winning derbies and this and that. We can't have that mentality. I think Miguel was very diplomatic. Obviously,
Oh, of course. I mean,
yeah, was very diplomatic. Me, on the other hand, I'm a fan, so I have the freedom to tell you in rice and beans, like we say in Puerto Rico, plain and simple. That the reality is that we have to spend wisely. I can tell you this: Ricardo Morera has made it very clear that just because we have the money doesn't mean that we have to go spend it.
of course.
Meaning that we don't have to make frivolous purchases. If we go to the polls, the ones that you have not shown, Luis, it brings a clearer picture of what the fan base is, where the fan base is at right now. You show the one Papi in, Papi out, and then there's one for Kara in or out. Because a lot of fans are really down on this guy, and I have to say that we have to look at it this way: is the problem with Kara the system, or is the problem with Kara the player? Because there's two answers for this. There's two solutions. If the player is the problem, then the rumor that we're gonna trade him or we're gonna leave him exposed in the expansion draft, then they're gonna be real. And if and that's the solution. We wish him well wherever he's at, because Erchan has said that he wants to stay in the United States or Canada. So maybe we should trade and get some assets for that, because buying him out is going to be counterproductive to the club. Basically, we're paying this guy not to play for us. That's dumb. And then the other one is we let go of the manager and we bring a manager that can turn this man into a scoring machine. And obviously, you guys say you want to keep Oscar Pareja around, so that's the other thing. And
So,
yeah, go ahead, Luis.
so he scored 14 goals in the Austrian league,
Yes, he did.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He scored 11 goals in the MLS. That's 3 goals less. So, I mean, I'm just saying, right? I mean, it's only 3 goals. I mean, it's like, uh, I mean, 3 goals make or break a success. And him being his first year in the MLS, scored 11 goals. I mean, what does the fan base want? Ronaldo Nazario, like 25 goals in one season. I understand. But he scored. If you look at the stats, it's 11 goals, 3 assists. He scored 14 goals, 4 assists in Austria, a league that he pretty much grew up in. So, and it was the season before he arrived to Orlando. So my question is, I think just, the way I take it is people are just pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to take it anymore, buddy.
It's just the
pissed.
pressure of being a striker, and they need to go.
Yeah, I just think he needs to. I'm not saying. In the end, it's a decision of the club, right? What they want to do with Ercan, right? But if you look at the stats, it's 11 goals. 11 out of he scored 14 last year.
Okay. Well,
this year he scored 11, right? So I'm just saying it's only 3 goals.
these are the top 10 scorers in our history in MLS. Number one, Kyle Larin, with a total of 44 goals. Nani in second place with a total of 31. Kaká with a total of 25. Dom Dwyer with a total of 24. Chris Mueller, total of 22. Teshua Kindele, shocking here. I know. Please sit down before I say this. 21 goals.
That's in their whole career.
No, in Orlando. The whole time they have been in Orlando.
But the whole time they've been in Orlando. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Daryl DK, 19 goals. Benji Michel, 19 goals. Junior Urso, 14 goals. And last, Facundo Torres with 13 goals in just one season. So that's where we are with this. Don Dwyer was brought here on nostalgia and good vibes from 2013 USL,
and a lot of money. A lot of money,
and completely underperformed because he only has 2 more goals than Chris Mueller, who cost us nothing and left us a ton of money. He has 3 more goals than Teshua Kindele, this fan base's favorite scapegoat and whipping boy. And Dom Dwyer has 1 goal less than Kaká. That cost us $7 million. Now, the ones that I need to point out here, because people tend to forget, Nani, in my opinion, the greatest captain to ever wear the band in this club, a winner, that transformed this club. Is before and after Nani, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, true. I agree.
31 goals, my friends, on a player that a lot of the talking heads, the experts said that he was a waste of money, he was finished, that he was done. And Kyle Larin, a kid that we got for nothing, that we disrespected, we never valued, and then people get mad that he left. I was in that group. Oh, you snake, blah blah blah. But what about the club doing him dirty? And lastly, I have to say that Benjamin Shaw, another player that cost us nothing, a local kid that is on fire right now, 19 goals. That is incredible. And Facundo Torres here with 13 goals in one season. That to me is a shocker here, because if this man with a year in MLS under his belt goes next year with a fire in his belly, and I can tell you that he wants to win MLS Cup. I know that from a good source. If you haven't figured that out yet, he might light up the league on fire next year.
I just think people are. I mean, and again, I think I said it before. People don't know what they want. I mean, I just want to be completely honest. I know it
Yeah,
sounds.
Baskin Robbins. They don't know which one to pick.
I mean, I mean, I think what has affected Urgent, not just Urgent, a lot of the people, a lot of some of the players there, it's been losing at home.
Mhm.
11 goals out of 2022, 11 goals in MLS first year, 3 assists. Austrian Superliga, 14 goals, 4 assists. 3 goals less, 1 assist less. Austria, MLS, right? I will say
Mhm.
that I think personally, I think MLS is more exciting than the Austrian Superliga. That's just my opinion. All
I've
right,
been to Austria. I work for
but
an Austrian company, and I can tell you that that's a fact right there.
right. But 14-3 now. Say it about impact of games. Here's Wolf Jacks says what carries not just about his goal, his overall impact of games. So what the club want, so what people want is Ronaldo Nazario. They want a player that scores 25 goals plus a season, or you want, I mean, because I mean, if you look at numbers, which is what pays your salary, your objectives, what you accomplish, he's met the metrics this year. I mean,
He's
he's
not
met.
an exciting player, though. That's the thing, Luis.
Well, I mean, I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean, so you got. I mean, that's what you got to figure out. So you get him help. Maybe playing in a 4-4-2 system with a double nine, him being a pivot. I don't know. You can certainly trade him, but what happens? Okay, we trade Kara. He goes to Philly. 15 goals, 5 assists. There are players that no matter where you put them, they have similar stats anywhere they go. There's some strikers that are like Luis Suarez, for example, 25, 27, 24 goals a season. Because they're world-class talent. And there are players that, like Jordi Reina from Charlotte, 8 goals, 5 goals a season, constantly in the span of years. Every year, between 5 to 8 goals a season. So that's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, if you look at the stats, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think people are not overlooking that he scored 11 goals. That's 3 goals less than last year.
No, absolutely. And to look at the other question, is making playoffs enough? I think we can all agree. No, making playoffs is not enough. I think we have reached a place where if we're gonna make playoffs, we gotta make noise. We gotta go further. And Luisa, is that the last question? I thought there was another one. That those
Uh,
should have been four.
well, yeah,
And
there's more here. Hold on.
sure. 2022 was a year of progress. That's a question. And
Oh,
I
for
will say
sure.
78%. Yeah, absolutely. We want a trophy. And friends, the only people that are discounting our Open Cup trophy are the haters, are the people that never want anything, people that want to cut us to size, and people that want to downgrade our accomplishments. winning Open Cup, it is a huge accomplishment. There's teams that have been in this league since the very beginning. They have never won it, and we have. So and we make some changes in the roster that made us more dynamic. So, Paola, anything that you want to add to this before we go to the comments?
No, no, you said it all.
Oh
Look,
wow.
look. I'm gonna say it. When it comes to the progress, I mean, it's been progress. I just don't. And again, I'm gonna be a broken record, but I mean, people are expecting. I think. I totally understand what they mean in regards of winning and all of that. And yeah, I mean, the home record has been crazy. I guarantee you that if Orlando would have won more games at home and Kara would have scored 12 goals, people would have not said anything. I mean, I guarantee it. Guarantee it. If Orlando would have won more games at home and Kara would have scored 12 goals, 4 assists, I guarantee it. No one would have said anything regarding Ergen Kara. I guarantee it. The problem it's been that the fan, just like what Miguel said earlier, you come with your girl, you're trying to impress. Hey, I'm gonna bring you baby girl to the box. I'm gonna buy you a drink. I'm gonna show you my boys here in Orlando City. I'm gonna show you right here. 3-0. 0-3 Orlando. The girl doesn't even want to take his number. He just spent $150 in the whole date and got her a original jersey. You
There's a
know,
lot of that.
I'm telling you. So I think people are talking because they're just upset, and I think that's what the club needs to aim. Bring, win more at home. You can't be losing that much at home, and I think even
Right.
Miguel said it because I think that's been detrimental for the fan base because they have not seen Orlando win,
That's true.
and
Yeah.
so
Nail it.
obviously
Yeah.
11 goals for Urgent Cara. They're gonna be like 11 goals. I haven't seen him score. Every time I see him, he loses. So I kind of understand why they're so upset. I mean,
Mhm.
and I will be too. Trust me. But I mean, I think that's what the club needs to
And,
improve
and
because
in all
if you
fairness,
don't,
guys.
I mean, because and even Miguel said the the stadium is designed to be a like a freaking sound wave of like a roar of a lion, dude.
Right,
Like,
right, right.
and you saw it in the Sacramento game and you saw it at
Oh
the
yes,
US game.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
we need to take advantage of that, but you're not going to put heads, what do you call butts in seats? Sorry, butts in. You're going to put butts in seats, like you said, Dave, without a winning record at home,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not
Mm-hmm.
going to even have a chance at the MLS Cup. We're going to be knocked out in the first round, just like we did against Montreal, right?
Or last year, absolutely. And you know what? I have to say one thing, Luis, before we go to the comments. I think also is the personality because Erchen is a very reserved, humble guy. I've been told that in the locker room he's one of the players' favorites. Him and his wife they just stay to themselves. They just love their opportunity of living here in the United States. Meanwhile, the fan wants the cockiness of Dom Dwyer, the mouth and the scoring ability of Joseph Martinez. They want the prowess of Laren. That's why they want Nani's super shots from outside the box. That's I think, in my opinion, that's what they want. People want the character. They want the dude. The guy that they follow. And I think since Kaká and quite possibly Nani to a lesser extent, we haven't seen the cult of the T-shirt or the jersey. We don't see people buying the jersey with that person's name in the back or the back of the jersey. We haven't seen that in a very long time. So I think the fans want to have put a face. Facundo Torres, in my opinion, is that type of guy. But the problem is, again, Facundo, humble guy, not very flashy, very family friendly with the selfie celebration and all that type of stuff. A family man, you know what I mean? Like he's all about his mom, dad, his girlfriend. But people want people want a guy with grit. We don't have that guy. Those guys are dangerous, as we have learned in Orlando.
Right, you want a captain, you know. I mean, you want. I mean, Nani came in here, and I mean, he's won Champions League. He's gone to World Cups. He's represented Portugal. He's
Hmm.
best friends with he's best friends with Cristiano Ronaldo. Like you know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Like he's so he brought so Orlando City with Nani. They had their Kobe Bryant, literally. I mean, he carried the team. He was the voice on the pitch, you know? And I think I agree with you. I think we're missing I mean, because Facundo Torres, he's a young phenom. He all you want to say, you know, I mean, my hat's off for him. I mean, he has a huge future ahead of him. But you can still see he's developing the leadership, but he's still not yet there. He needs somebody that he can, maybe a Ricardo Kaká if he would be
Hmm.
available, right? I mean, but you need also a player like Nani. Nani, even till now, he's playing in Australia right now. I think
Yeah, in Victoria. Mhm.
in Victoria, Melbourne.
Yeah,
I think it is,
yeah, I think it's. I know it's the city of
or
Victoria. Where he's playing.
Adelaide United. I don't know,
Something
but
like that. Who knows?
either way, um, I mean, he's physically fit.
Still,
I mean, I mean, so
the
you
fact that we're
need
talking about him already says
so
this.
I think Orlando needs to maybe think of a Cavani. So I mean I know Cavani right now is a Valencia, but I mean I wouldn't say Luis Suarez because he's getting out there, but I mean you need to look into players that have won things, that are able to tell the Thomas Williamses and the and the Brian Hackenbergs and the Oteros, hey, I've gone to World Cups. I've beaten this team. I play against Brazil. I've played against Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I've been on one against Messi. So those experiences do matter, and I think if you add that and winning more at home next season and having a bigger depth, I think we're onto something. In my opinion, I think we're
You
onto
gotta win
something.
at home and you gotta beat the
You gotta win at
rivals.
home. You gotta win at home because that's how you're gonna put butts in seats.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean
I
that's
agree.
just the way it is. If you don't win at home, the people that are gonna look at the games and they're gonna pay their hard-earned money to go into the games, they're gonna look at else, and then they're gonna watch the W's on TV. They'll just rather get the ESPN Plus app or the
Apple Plus, yeah,
Or
yeah.
Apple Plus and just watch it there,
You
right?
nailed it. You nailed it.
I
You should
mean,
copy this, and this is the clip that you should use to promote the show. You nailed it, bro. You said it. You said it.
there you
That's
go,
it. Because I
Paul.
mean, that's a fact, my friend. If people are gonna win and see us win on the road and then come and lose at home, and then they pay the $20 for parking, and then their $45 for the seat, and $200 worth of Dippin' Dots and pizza and crap. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And they
Baby, I'll
lose.
take you. I'll take you right here. I'll bet you a drink. I'll
Listen, this
bet
is
you
why
a
I bring
drink,
my
baby
wife.
girl.
She's
What
gonna
you want?
go with
What you
home.
want, baby girl?
She's gonna go home with me regardless. But listen, we're running out of time. Let's look at the comments and then the what the Facebook and wrap up our season, friends.
All right, this is Victor Rivera. Sorry, he doesn't impress me. He needs to move more. Not expect the ball to always be by his feet. Yesterday's game, he had a chance, yeah, to pass the ball to Rowan. Yeah, I agree on that. And I mean, that looks selfish. I'll give you that. And even Rowan said, "I'm here." He did the Kabi thing. I'm here. Like I'm open, bro. Like that I wholeheartedly agree with Victor right there. I
I think
think
he felt the pressure of the fans telling him, "Oh, he's not scoring. Oh, I need to score."
but yeah, it could have been that, or it could have been also, sometimes, unfortunately, that position itself, being a nine, sometimes you gotta be. Look at Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Like he just took the ball and run with it, right? But obviously, he had the quality, right, of creating his own plays. And something that Urgent, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, Urgent doesn't have that ability of creating his own plays. You need to put the ball, you need to place the ball on his feet for him to score. Oscar Andres Perucho, why blaming Kara? Only one ball was fed to him yesterday. Pereira was bad yesterday. No shots on target from Orlando. Pareja's system has been awful the past 8 games. We don't have a bench at all. Again, yesterday's goal was on Antonio Carlos' side. We need defense, center, left, and right back, and a true nine. Let's hope we sign Galese. Doubt he will stay.
Okay. No,
I'm
no. I mean,
gonna.
some points, Oscar.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Can't deny
Put the
them.
candle on. Put the candle on.
Can't
I'm just
deny them.
saying, look, señor Moreira, por favor, por favor. No, that look, that will shut everyone up. You know that, Dave? That will shut everyone up. I mean, imagine in 2 weeks, guys, we want to make kind of it reminds me when they announce players in the NBA. We want to make an announcement. Yep. Well, we just resigned Oscar Pareja for 2 more years, and
Yeah,
Pedro Galese,
we
two
do
point
it.
five million. Thank you.
I
Yeah.
said it on my blog, my friend. I said on my blog from about last night. Our preseason started the second I walked away from Wall Street. That's it. Our preseason started. We need to get aggressive, friends. We need to get aggressive, and we have said it. We gave you guys the premise. Our friend Nachito Sanchez in Argentina was saying that in the circles, in the journalist circles, they knew that Orlando City, among other MLS clubs, were like sharks in bloody water. They were in Argentina because we have already told you guys about their situation down there, and they are waiting for the opportunity to start signing guys. So that's the hope, guys, that we are not sitting on our hands and that we're gonna see some signings, thankfully.
All
Um,
right.
but
Nijay Thompson, Ruan would have done the same thing. I'm only pissed that it's our DP striker. They didn't even get hit the target. I mean, I give you that too. Okay,
mhm, mhm.
I give you that too. But if you're gonna categorize DPs are categorized based on stats. That's
Yes,
why,
but
right?
a DP, my friends, when you get paid that paper, a DP has to have three characteristics, and these are not my characteristics. Our friend Cleon said him 4 years ago, and I keep repeating them because they were spot on. He has to be a starter, he has to be a game changer, and he has to be a scorer. And if our DP is not scoring, is not changing games, and it's not starting, my friends, he's not a DP, even though the paycheck says so.
Right. Oscar Andres Perucci said, "Let's get Suarez or Joseph Martinez."
No,
I will
no,
Joseph,
stick with
Joseph
Suarez,
Martinez,
not
no.
Joseph. Mm-mm.
Joseph,
He's finished. He's finished.
the
He has to
Last
be a
Dance.
surgeon. No, are you kidding me? Come on, Luis. Come on, don't do me like that, bro.
I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. I just want to know your reaction. You
He doesn't
imagine
like arroz con pollo, so
No,
we don't
no.
need
que
him
no le
here.
gusta arroz con pollo. He doesn't like arroz con pollo. Oh
You didn't
my
hear
god.
about that?
That's
Seriously, you didn't
about
hear
No.
like he flipped that table.
a table full of arroz
Oh,
con pollo, and my mother would have been like, "Oh my goodness, all that food!" And there's kids in Africa dying of hunger. That's how my mom used to say when I was a kid, and shameful, shameful.
as Joshua told Lewis, you're funny. Yeah, I know. This is Felix Quijano. We should go for Paulo Guerrero. I mean, look. Paulo Guerrero has the swag, the leadership qualities. I can definitely vouch for this. The problem with Guerrero is his knees. That's the problem. The problem with Guerrero is a pato thing.
We
Like
don't
I
want
mean,
another Pato. You read my
No, we
mind.
right.
don't need one.
So
No, we don't
so
need
s-
one.
and you're gonna be playing 4 tournaments. Like you want to make sure you have depth and depth that's going to make an immediate impact, right? Because that's what Nijay and Mr. Etromic and Victor are saying. You want like they were saying game changers, right? Good stats, game changing people like DK, because when DK came in, he's going to change the game, right? So
Hmm.
you
Julio
gotta,
Baptista, we all remember the guy who used to come in on the 80th minute, and that man was a producer. You know what I
yeah,
mean? We don't have that. I mean, like Tesho has had his moments, Benji has had his moments off the bench. Chris Mueller used to, but we just don't have a guy that you see him at right next to the fourth official, and you are like game on. We don't have that guy anymore. We have to have a guy that comes from the bench and he means business. So I know, Ricardo. I know you're watching. I know. You don't have to tell me. We'll talk later. But look, let's go get these type of things. We're giving you the formula, my friends. This is what the fans want. That's the thing I tell all the time to people, and they're like, "Well, the club doesn't owe me anything." It sure does, because you're giving the team your time, your money. They owe me wins, because that's what I
Well,
go to the stadium for. I
I
want
mean,
wins.
this is gonna sound. This is gonna sound funny, right? I mean, it's definitely gonna sound really hilarious what I'm about to say. But think about it. Messi is rumored to go to the Flamingos, right? And what do you do to counter Messi? Through history,
Can't bring
you
Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo, papa. He still has
They're
some
gonna
gas
arrest
in
him
the
the
tank.
second he steps on MCO, bro. Come on now.
Really?
He has a warrant out. It's common knowledge
In Orlando?
in the United States.
Oh, Warren. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know
Come
that.
on
I
now.
didn't know
That's
that.
why he doesn't visit Disney with his kids.
This
I
is
think. I'm just kidding.
Oscar Andres Clarucho.
Ah,
Guerrero is done. Yeah, I agree. Suarez had said he wants. Suarez will be a great addition. Luis Suarez, I think. I mean,
I'll take
leadership
Luis Suarez.
I
qualities.
will take Suarez.
I think Luis Suarez will be a phenomenal signing, but
I'll
obviously you
take
have to
him. I'll
understand
take him.
if Messi is actually heading to Miami.
Then bring Luis
Um,
Suarez.
I mean,
We need competition.
but this is the thing. Suarez and Messi are like this,
I know,
Yeah,
So
but we
they're
have
gonna.
Facu.
That's what I'm saying. And Facu has played with Suarez already too. He even
right.
said in an interview recently. I think he said they
Yeah,
asked him,
that's his top
"Who's
contact.
who's your one of your your people you look up to?" And he's a Luis
Yeah, yeah.
Suarez. So I mean, Luis Suarez will be a phenomenal signing. I mean,
Luis Suarez is a contact in Facundo's phone. Dude, he said it.
yeah,
So
I
I mean,
agree.
maybe Facu can pick up the
Speed
phone,
dial.
speed dial, and say, "Bro, what are you doing?
Come here.
Playing those community centers, masquerading as changing rooms in Uruguay. Come over here. We saw the video. You know, just
No,
make
but
a phone call.
I mean, I'm just saying, and if you want another nine that I think his time in Europe it's done is Alvaro Morata from Spain.
Let, wow,
I
man,
mean,
there's so many names.
I'm just saying. I mean, he almost wins in the Olympics. I mean, Alvaro Morata is just that he got injured, but I mean, Alvaro Morata is a hell of a nine. But
Hmm.
again, you need people surrounding him. You need people that. But I think Luis Suarez will bring that I mean, immediate impact. I mean, what he did in Uruguay in Nacional, it's been crazy. I mean, not a lot of players do that, and he did it for
No,
his
totally.
kids, for the love of his kids, because he promised his kids, "Hey, I'm coming back to Uruguay to play for Nacional because you guys are fans of Nacional, and you guys want to see me playing in that Nacional jersey, so I'm gonna come back to Nacional," and that's what he did. And now he
Yeah,
wants to
then
come
he's
to the
gonna
MLS.
retire in purple. God willing. So
Hopefully,
let's do the what the Facebook, my friends,
yeah,
and call it a day because it's late.
yeah,
Gotta get up at
definitely.
5.
So right here, we're on a discussion group right here. Hold on, I gotta close that. Uh, okay, let's start with. I mean, this is in our discussion group. Hold on, let me see if I can view insights. Oh, no, that's not what I want to see. That's not what I want to see. Hold on, let me zoom it in.
Sure, but while you do that, I want to remind everybody to follow us on social media. Also, we have plans uh, to have shows covering the U.S. national team. So you guys gonna see a little bit of us in this off season. First of all, I wanna thank Luis for creating this space and giving me the opportunity to be part of it. It has overwhelmed me this past year. The amount of support that we get from fans. Personally, when you guys approach me and you shake my hand and you want to take a picture with me, which I still don't understand why would you want that. But anyways, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the kind words that you guys always give us. That that you like the show, that you learn something from it, that you get something from it, and the fact that there's still people here, an hour and 48 minutes later, with us says it all. So, Luis, are we ready?
No, hold on. It's being a little. Oh, here you go. Okay, I got it. I got it right here. All right, here we go. Here we go. With what the Facebook. Hold on. Let me. Here we go. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Says Edwin Delgado, raise your hand if you're part of this team and steps they've made. Won the Hunt Cup, found incredible young time Facundo Torres, Ivan Angulo, and just made a stress toward becoming a better team. Like I get the season and disappointment, but this idea that somehow another coach could have done a better job is insane to me.
Mhm.
Right? Hugo Ricardo, how no one is talking about the losses to all non-playoff teams back-to-back years. We
Mm,
spend the most money ever and still perform worse in the league. Our negative 9 goal difference. Let's brag about all the homegrown contracts at the beginning of the season, while all the other teams have signed proven experienced talent. I mean, the stats don't lie. I think Hugo needs to go back to Dubai. J for mediocre. There you go. Oh, and here's my boy Bob Fish. I'm gonna say, Bob, you're invited to Loud and Proud, my friend. If I see you, Bob Fish. Look, I'm just gonna say this is probably, and that's how you pronounce
I
his
guess
name,
from Miami.
Bob Fish. All right.
Is he trolling us or what?
No, he is. I mean, he. Look, his little puppy right here. All right, look, little puppy dog. Like, look, he's just very controversial. He's like, they don't deserve a playoff spot. Another match with an uninspired play at best. There's no effort, no urgency, no character. And then yesterday he's like, finally they scored. Now it's over. Let's stick a fork in it and enjoy the cup because this game should have never happened.
Oof! Wow!
And then people
Jesus!
people people are saying,
Somebody called this
yeah,
man for season tickets. My
I
lord!
know. I mean, I'm happy we got to the playoffs, but let's be honest, we did not deserve this. TJ Templeton says,
Oh my goodness!
terrible goal difference, average defense below average offense. And then Anna
This is what
Alexis,
I'm going for.
Anna
Look
Alexis,
at Anna said.
y'all are miserable. Yeah.
For the win, Anna, for the win there.
Look at this. Good job, Sucklando. And
Come
this
on,
is
Bob.
come
Why
on,
Really?
he's
Bob.
even on
Come
this
on,
group, man?
come on,
I
Bob.
listen, guys. I wonder sometimes if people are really. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and Paula knows this. And before I gave Tiro de Esquina podcast to Paula, I told her, if we win, your views are gonna be very low. If we lose, people go bonkers. People go bonkers. And I wonder sometimes if there's people following Orlando City because they want us to be bad, and they just want to just pile on the misery. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to follow a team that is miserable? And I don't know, but the fact is that when we used to be really really bad, the stadium was packed, and now that we are decent
Good.
and that right and we win championships, nobody shows up to the games. Somebody explain that to me.
Okay, now Darren Crampton, and there you go. He's the Darren Crampton. He's the founder of World Greatest Jugs. There you go. This
Okay.
is coach lost his game. Fire him and fire the scout that brought Kara. We need
Oh my God,
change.
Ricardo, your
You
job
have
is done.
you have 5 subs and make the first one the 77th minute. Yeah, I understand that. You leave Kara on the whole game. Ridiculous. There's probably no one person on this group that thinks waiting until the 77th minute in this game for a sub was a good idea. There's also nobody that thinks leaving Kara on the whole game was a good idea. We
Let
need
me ask
change.
you this, Luis. Guys, do you remember when was the first goal scored in that game against
Mon-
Montreal? What was it? A 60 something minute?
60 something minute.
Right. So if we waited till the 76, because what we were doing was working until they score on us. I'm sorry.
And then Top Bowers replies to him, is like, I hope you feel better now that you got you got that out. Dead wrong, but maybe it helped. Coach isn't the problem, and probably was the reason we had the success we had this year. It needs some personnel upgrades in the offseason and more scoring power. And then he replied something that is taking too long to read. So we'll figure it out what he says. But you know, um, then people just, I mean, I just want to say, look, Martin Jimenez, you know, um, he says, I don't understand why Kara was so valuable. Torres proves to be way more valuable. I would rather have another decent shooter who's better at passing and control. Plus, I hate to say it, but it's time for a better and younger goalie. Look at
What?
him.
Whoa,
Look
my
at
goodness!
look. I I will love, I will love, dude, to
Come
just
on, Martin. No, don't do it.
if any business wants to do a supporters cup, and
Supporters come.
the players, we're gonna make teams. Loud and Proud team versus the Bob Fish, the Bob Fish
Martin.
Knights, right? And I want the players to be in the stands to rate the people that write these type of comments. I guarantee you, Martin Jimenez, he doesn't even kick one ball with his right foot or his left foot. He, I bet he doesn't know how to head a ball. I guarantee
or
you,
or grab the ball and
I
throw it
guarantee you
like
when he tell him, I guarantee you, you tell him dribble, he's gonna go like this. I'm saying, I mean, come on, man, like, come on. I mean, it's crazy. This is, I like the coach, but Kara's got to go. Gladys Cardona Marrosos. It's okay. You got a nice puppy right here.
Yeah, but this
I think I hate
from
COVID
Miami
19
again.
vaccine.
Listen, do we have that much of a fan base down in South Florida? I'm shocked at what I'm seeing. Shocked,
Look,
shocked.
look, we're in the zone. Look at stuff. There you go. It says, look, Jamie Andres Zuluaga, it has to be Colombian, the last name. Good season considering all the injuries and some of the bad games away, but some really exciting games as well. Kudos.
Yeah, I
There you
have
go.
fun. I don't know about you guys. I have fun this season.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it says Matthew Schreitiger. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. We won a trophy and made it into the playoffs for the last 3 years. We're playing Champions League next season. I'm unsure why you think we need a new coach.
Okay,
And
okay.
then
Well,
he had over
somebody
one
with
thing.
reasoning.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, he's a young kid, right? And then he replies, right? It's not good enough. You're happy going 1-5 in our last 6 games, not getting a home game in the playoffs and getting knocked down in the first round. Are you happy with the coaching in the game today? Horrible management. We had we had one good win in the Lamar Hunt Cup against Philly. We had two
Actually,
draws.
that
We
was
won.
probably one of the worst. But anyways,
Yeah, we had two draws, won 2 games in PKs, and beat a USL team. I'm happy we won, but that wasn't coaching. Too what? Too many people satisfied with mediocrity. We should wait to
wow,
compete
winning
more.
the Open Cup. Listen,
Come on.
Darren. I mean, let's be honest
I
here.
think he needs to play. I think he
The
needs to.
USL team that made it, I gotta give props to Sacramento because I hear this crap
Oh
from
yeah.
MLS fans. Sacramento was not gifted their final appearance. Sacramento had to defeat MLS teams, very good MLS teams, to get there. Okay, and we play, we beat them, but it could have gone the other way too. So that with that said, please.
Yeah, it says, I'm just saying, it says Brian Washington. I imagine the same scouting system found Torres and Araujo. Oscar
Yep.
needs to address tactics, but calls for his sacking before midsummer next year are clownish. Right? I
No, no, no.
agree.
And again, our scouting network is one and the same. At the end of the day, Ricardo Moreira and Luis Musi make the decisions, and they present their findings to the manager and to the board that
So
makes decisions for Orlando City, and that's how they make the decisions. So, my friends, if you hate one signing, you have to hate them all
look,
because they are.
and a lot of people, I feel like they're downplaying the U.S. Open Cup, Paola. I mean, they're saying the U.S. Open Cup doesn't matter. I'm telling you guys. I mean, Orlando's gonna have now is gonna have to is gonna experience how to play abroad. I know it's Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador. I understand that. I know it's not Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, Peru. I know that. but it is an experience that Orlando has not got the chance to do,
And we need it.
and
Yes.
and we're gonna bring other eyes to the team, to the brand of Orlando City. People that maybe are so into their clubs from home. I know people like that. For example, they don't support Orlando City, but they love their teams from their own home country. They're gonna now. Oh shoot, Orlando! The Orlando team is actually pretty good. Like let's go and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
let's go to some games. And so I don't know. I mean, the FA Cup. I think. I mean, if you think about it, the FA Cup is the oldest trophy in England. So,
In the
um,
world, actually, in the
in the
world for.
world, right? And
Hmm.
now U.S. Open Cup is kind of like the same vibe in a way, but in the
Yeah, yeah,
United
for
States,
sure.
right? Right. So, Steve Cornia says three things in life is certain: death. Number two, taxes. And number three, Orlando City fan calling for the firing of the only coach in their history who hasn't been a complete and utter failure. There you go.
Wow. Good, good, good.
This and then Darren Crampton, he wants excellence. He wants Orlando City to beat Chelsea. He says too many fans are happy with average below average. He won 1-5 at the end of the season, lost our playoff game with horrible game management. If you're satisfied with that, you're part of the problem. Average below average is not good enough.
Oh my
All right, well,
God, this toxic. This is just
Right?
toxic.
Isn't
yeah,
this
but
look? Okay. Now I want you guys to imagine imagine you are, I don't know if a family member from the scout of Orlando City. I'm not gonna say his name, but I think everyone knows.
mhm.
And I read this kind of garbage. You know what I mean? Like it, I mean, I just want to say, I mean, you gotta be empathetic and put yourself in the other person's shoes, right? I mean, and you have to see the bigger picture here. And I think this is just the soccer culture in a way, because we're trying to drag shit from other sports and talk from other sports into football and or soccer, and it's not the same way. It's not the same way. You cannot. MLS is not at the level yet as England, as Germany, as Spain.
Mhm.
We're gonna get there, yes, but we're not yet. We're not even at the level I would say at the Brasileirao. All right. So I mean, guys, I mean, we're comparing peas with carrots, man.
Absolutely.
This is Todd Shank. We lost our center back at the worst time. Lost the DP before he even got to play. Won a must-win game after going down a goal. Brought in players throughout the season that contributed immediately. Araujo, Angulo, Mulroney, and won the U.S. Open Cup. This is nonsense. There you go, Todd Shank.
All right. So yeah,
Good job.
let's. Well, let's. It's 2 hours. I
Yeah,
know we could be here all night.
all night, man. I
No,
mean,
absolutely.
there's more, man. It's unbelievable.
We
All
have
I'm
to have
saying,
a show just
Toxic book to talk
on
to
what the
about
face.
toxic book.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
All I'm saying, guys, is I know people are upset, but there's a lot of promising things happening. I met with Gaston Gonzalez on the elevator at the game against the last home game for Orlando City
Columbus.
Columbus.
Mhm.
against Columbus, and I told him, I said, "Hey, man, you're gonna help him out next season." He's like, "I can't wait. I know,
Ooh.
I'm gonna kill it." Uh, you know,
That's it.
and that's the player that you're gonna get, dude. Because that's the player he played in our. He told me straight up in my face. He's like, "I know who you are. My mom, I've watched your show. Like I know who you are. Thank you for what you do. Next season, I will kill for the jersey." He told me, I will make an immediate impact, and that's just one player. So now we're getting Robin back, and
Mhm.
now we're gonna evaluate the status of the team now.
Yeah.
Knowing the people that are running the club now, from previous management, I have full faith, and I think I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and go from there, you know, and just expect the best. And it's the club's responsibility now to win at home, because that's what people want. You got to win at home. You can't
Mhm.
have that record. I give them the people from Facebook, all the credit they want when they said our winning home record is garbage. It is garbage. You
It
can't
is.
have you can have a bad home record and expect people to sell out arenas.
It's a
You're gonna
We
.500.
win.
need to be like Philadelphia. They haven't lost at home. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So and they spent
Absolutely.
$10 million,
Mm-hmm.
2022. We spent 13. So I mean, and we got knocked off first round. They're probably gonna go to the end. So
Yeah,
imagine that,
yeah, for sure. For sure.
right? So guys, any last words before we go?
Go ahead, Paula.
no, thank you for having me this season. I look forward for 2023 season. Tiro de Esquina podcast goes tomorrow up the episode 10 at 5:30 Eastern time. So go watch us in Spanish. Um, and nothing, guys. It's been a pleasure. I know that we're gonna continue this
Oh yeah,
podcast.
we're not stopping. I
We're
know.
not
I mean,
stopping,
you're saying
but
goodbye.
no, I'm not.
You're
Oh no,
saying it.
no, 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 no,
No,
no, no. I'm just
you're gonna have to
saying
wear
my
your USA
USA. No, or my Argentinian,
or
Spain, or something. I don't know. I need to buy. I need to buy
Puerto
shirt.
Rico, Coqui,
Listen,
Puerto Rico.
the
Puerto
Puerto
Rico.
Rico makes the World Cup, it will be in the year 3000. So let's just say that.
no,
Uh,
No,
guys, but we're
but
not. Yeah, we're not stopping, guys.
we're not stopping. I'm just
Don't. Yeah,
don't
yeah. I
don't
mean,
stop listening to us. We're gonna continue, but it's just that thank you for being here. Go to our podcast, Tiro de Esquina, YouTube, Tiro de Esquina podcast. Subscribe to us as well, and follow us on Twitter at T Esquina podcast. That's our Instagram. But anyways, go to our social media. You can see us there. Follow us, and
mhm.
I appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Paula. Thank you for joining our team. To give you an insider story, real quick, I told Luis we needed a female voice. Paola reached out to me out of the blue, and here we are.
¿qué es lo que
And
hay?
Paola has been part of the group. A lot of people always tell me that they appreciate her insight and the fact that she's like a palate cleanser between a very knowledgeable Luis and a rebel browser like me. I have to say, my friends, it has been a great season. Peaks and valleys, but that's what football is all about. It's brief moments of joy interrupted by misery, and that's how football is, and that's how I like it. I want to thank all our guests this season. I intended to write them down so I could mention them by name, but unfortunately, I came home way too late to do that. But all the guys from all the podcasts, Lions Blog, Lions Den, Orlando City
Orlando City
Cast,
Cast.
right? Orlando City Cast, OC Fan TV, our good friend Miguel Gallardo, obviously tonight,
Tom Traxler.
Tom Traxler, and I think we have
Dennis
covered
Chin.
everybody.
No, Dennis Chin.
Oh, Dennis Chen, the legendary
Dennis
Dennis
Chin.
Chen.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
he's always there supporting. And I wanna
Yes.
give a lot of thanks to a couple people too. First and foremost, I want to thank Orlando City Communications,
Hmm.
Rob, Jackie, everyone. Everyone there, Lucas, everyone in communications has been
Oh,
nothing but
Nachito Sanchez. We had Nachito Sanchez. We can't forget
Machito
about him.
Sanchez. Yeah.
Right. All our sources that will remain unnamed. It doesn't matter how many times on Twitter you ask me, they are not gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell you who they are, but all of
Diogo
them.
too. Diogo, great guy.
Oh,
Always.
Diogo, thank you, Diogo. Yeah, we can actually say
Yeah,
that.
we can
Diogo,
we can talk about a lot of people. I mean, I
yeah.
think everyone's been so supportive from us. You know, 181 Creative for all the pictures. Um, Gabriel Gomez from 181
Alex
Creative,
Leitao, who
Alex
has,
Leitao,
Alex Leitao, who
Ricardo
has watched this episode at
Moreira,
least once or twice.
yeah,
Um,
Luis
oh,
Musi too.
Luis Musi, Ricardo Moreira, all those people. We just wanna say thank you, and to the fans, every and each one of you who are either listening to us or watching live or commenting or interacting with us on social media. It has been a great year, guys. We lifted a trophy. We made the playoffs. next year will be better. That's the hope of the fan. The next year will be better. And I'm proud to be called a lion. And you know what? Last night, and I sent the video to Luis. I was super proud that even at our darkest hour, the fan base decided to start chanting "Vamos Orlando" at the top of their lungs. And some people may say it's ridiculous. They can't hear you. It's a TV screen, but to the fans, that energy, they wanted to send it all the way to Montreal, and God knows if they felt it, but I felt it, and that's what Miguel was talking about. These fans have been faithful through many, many, many bad things, and we're still here. So, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. We hope that you join us next season. We hope that you also consume our content about the national team,
Yeah.
and what else can we say?
Well, before I go, thank you to Hannah, also Hannah Drostick, to everyone in communications, Diogo, people from catering, they always treat us well. Alonso, Esporo TV, all my friends there in communications, everyone there in the back room, Mike Ramajo, Austin David,
Austin David,
people
yeah,
from the
thank you.
mainland, my friend Amanda Trailer too from A Team Management, everyone, Sergio Ruiz. I mean, everyone. It's been nothing but support and friendship towards the brand, towards the outlet, and we can
Mhm.
wait to come back on 2023 with new members too. So if you're interested in joining Loud and Proud Orlando and you want to get to cover OCSC, OCB, Orlando Pride, I mean, this is something that we're looking for you. If you're passionate, you want to dedicate some of your free time, come and join us, and you we'll have we'll be 5 people live next year. For by all means, there'll be a show. Now I'm gonna announce it. There's gonna be a show only dedicated to Orlando Pride and WSL. Moving forward, there's gonna be also this show is gonna consume Orlando City and OCB. So we're gonna have 2 shows now. So if you're ready and you feel like you wanna go ahead and make a difference in the club, come and join us and let's change the world together, right? Because clearly, I mean, this is the way to go. I think, and we have a great support system, David, Paola, and everyone here, you guys for watching, and nothing be thankful. And we're going to be covering the U.S. national team. We're going to be talking about the World Cup moving forward. So every Monday at 8:30, do not tune out. Stay tuned because we have more things to come. So thank you so much for all your support.
All right, vamos
Vamos
Orlando.
Vamos
Orlando.
Orlando, guys. See you guys next week. Take care.